Hi and welcome back. This is a sequence dedicated to the Dogfight, and I'm doing this within several type of aircraft, and want to show you some basic maneuvers and things to avoid, and then going to more advanced tactics. So we are climbing at 170-180 miles per hour. It's quite efficient speed for climbing and allows to travel quite fast meantime. It's not too much recommended to climb below 160 or minimum 140 miles an hour into this aircraft, and you'll have the same kind of behavior for other type of aircraft. You generally don't want to climb with a too slow speed. And I'm using open canopy because I can see better behind me and hear the opponents, but if you cannot, that's not a problem. But anyway, you have to take care in a combat area all the time to be aware of what's happening around your aircraft. And before we meet anyone, I want to describe the kind of scissor, and we're going to make it 100-degree wide. So I'm starting from 90-degree right, and I mean 180 degree each side. So the scissor is simply this maneuver. However, it's not so easy to do it right, and I used to tighten the turn more and more and more until I can reach, and then I stay within the limits of the aircraft, close from the stalling speed. Then you can see the slip dial, we can use the rudder pedals in order to center the dial, and this allows to stay safely close from a stall. If we are too much side slipping, we will enter into a spin. So the scissors is very efficient, especially in the Spitfire, because you have very good maneuverability, while on some other aircraft as 109 you may prefer to gain on energy on your opponent. And however, if you are trying to make the scissor, you have to take care that during your maneuver you may give your opponent sometimes the firing angle. Each time this happens, you have to change the turn in like upward or downward, or you have to prepare in your scissor not to be completely horizontal, but to pass over or to pass below the direction of your opponent, so that you don't give him a firing angle. And last thing, small scissors without too much change of direction is not efficient, and it just makes you waste your speed. So if you want to do a scissor, you have to make it tight and try to remove your opponent from your tail each time you do it. And also you may want to use your rudder pedals during the roll in order to help. So I'm going to make a left turn, the left roll, left rudder, and that helps. So it's right rudder for the left rudder. It helps in the roll rate. Another thing you may want to do is the barrel roll, and the barrel roll, if someone is closing very fast on you, you can start it very tight if you start on the bottom, because the gravity helps you to tighten your turn, but then makes you also lose more energy. And same for a barrel roll. If you do that, try to make it tight, because then it would remove your opponent from your tail. If you make it too small, then you may have just lost some speed. Another thing I will find very important is to have the plane correctly trimmed, and I have the chance to have joystick with some free axis. One of them is set to the trim. As you can see, I can easily nose down or nose up at any time, and like for now I just set to this kind of flight, but if I am diving onto an opponent and I want to get firing angle, when I gain speed I will adjust the trim every time so that I'm very accurate on the firing. Same when I'm very slow, we are making Dogfight as a lower speed, I adjust again the trim so that I don't have to pull too much on the joystick even when I want to fly straight. One thing also to notice is that you have a smooth control of the joystick around the center. I have already told that in some other tutorials. This means that you can be very much accurate if your plane is correctly trimmed. You have a lot of accuracy on firing. But if now I'm going to make the trim, for example, too much down, and then I have to compensate by pulling the joystick, and then the accuracy is much lower. It's much more difficult to have a good accuracy in this kind of conditions. One thing to notice is that when you are upside down, so in this position, you have the gravity helping you to make tight turns, and when you are flying straight and level, you have to go against the gravity in order to turn. So if you try to someone is coming on your tail very fast from somewhere behind, and you try to avoid him by pulling hard upward, then you are making something difficult, and also losing very quickly your speed and becoming a sitting duck in the air. That's a very good firing position for somebody. So you may want rather to tighten your turn and then doing it somewhere in the horizontal or downwards. Another defensive maneuver is the barrel roll, and during the barrel roll, if you happen to do it with pulling quite hard on the joystick, you can keep always a certain angle with your opponent. So if your opponent is flying straight and level, you want to be somewhere here, and to keep always this difference of direction, so that each time you pull down, you tend to get away of his own of his direction. But this maneuver is quite difficult to do anyway. So I would recommend that you train to very random maneuvers, because doing the barrel roll is also quite dangerous sometimes, and if you just don't have some good tactics behind your mind, you may also waste your energy while trying to do so, and your opponent can catch on you. So you can do it, but many other things need to be mastered for the dogfight. Another thing quite important to notice, we have some slip now, and if I push on the right pedal on the right rudder, it will just eliminate this slip. And so if I keep the slip dial in the center, there I have a better behavior on the aircraft. And if we are doing, for example, half loop, so we will notice that the aircraft will tend to turn the nose on the right, and that's because of a propeller effect, because the spinner is actually a disc rotating like a wheel that you try to turn on the side. It has a strength, a torque on 90 degree. That's what's happening, and we will see that this will move the aircraft. If I just pull, then the aircraft tends to go on the right, to roll right, so to speak. You see, that's rolling right, and that's happening every time. If now I do it downwards, it will want to roll right, same. It rolls right all the time, and that's because of the spinner effect. So if you want to to tighten your maneuvers, you may also want to push during the time you pull hard on the joystick. You may want to synchronize with the pedals and push a little bit on the left pedal. So that for any maneuver, the aircraft is going to respond in a quite efficient way. Like this, you can see it's now going more straight, and that's particularly true for this kind of a half. You see, that's much better turns, much tighter turns. This effect also depends on the direction of rotation. In Spitfire and Hurricane, it's pushing left rudder, and I think the BF-109 has the same direction of rotation on the spinner, so the effect is same, pushing on the right pedal, on left rudder, sorry.